We met when we were 18 through a mutual friend and eventually got married. He was overseas on a work thing and just had a heart attack and died, never came home.
She's going through some really tough stuff, but it's really impressive that she wants to actually start moving forward.
Whether it's your personal life, your business life, in order to get where you want to go, you need to put plans in place.
She has a lot of things that she wants to do, mainly around her business that she wants to launch.
I really feel I need to try to do this for myself.
We'll be helping everyday Australians.
I am recently divorced.
I've always wanted to have my own business.
After the wedding, moved out of a 2-bedroom unit and into an actual home.
With expert advice.
I want to show people they can live the life they want to live.
Make the most of their life-defining moments.
He's actually made it possible.
We met when we were 18 through a mutual friend and then eventually got married. We were married for 3 years. It was a big shock. It was just out of the blue. It was just a tragedy that happened. He was overseas on a work thing and yeah, just had a heart attack and died overseas, so just never came home. He's very funny and it's so much energy. He was very ambitious and very career driven. I found that to be very inspiring. And he loved his work immensely and he worked so hard to build our dreams. Laugh a minute type guy, just fun to be around, very addictive to be around. Just made you feel good about yourself. My view on life, I guess, has changed a lot since the passing of my husband. Not so much thinking about what you don't have, but focusing a lot more on what you do have and what makes you happy and doing more of that. It's first and foremost just going back to the basics of what gets you up every day and what makes you smile, whether it be friends or family, and just enjoying those things. It's scary to have to think I have to rebuild my life from scratch. He had a lot to do with the big financial decisions. It's tricky because I've just never really been interested in this before. Never really thought I had to be interested, and soon realising that, yeah, it's really important and I really need to get control of the finances because this is the rest of my life and the future that I'm dealing with here. Obviously, him being the main breadwinner, it would have been very, very difficult if we just didn't have some savings and a few things set up. It would have made a really, really, really hard situation a lot more difficult. I guess I'm in a situation where it's time that I need to do something for myself and have my own career. I've always wanted to have my own business. Ever since I was little, I love design. It started off with fashion, where I studied fashion design, and then worked in a couple of years in that industry. And then I went and did interior design, specialising in colour. And this is something I've always wanted to do, but I guess been a little bit afraid to do that because there's obviously big risks involved, especially because now I'm on my own and financially it's a lot bigger risk because I don't have that second income to fall back on. But I think it's better to try and fail than not to try at all, because I'll always regret not trying to fulfil my dreams and trying to live the life that I wanted to have, and I'm sure my husband wants me to have too. I really need to try to do this for myself. With the right help and the right guidance and someone, you know, just checking that I am making the right decisions and giving me that sound advice, then I do feel like I can do it on my own.
In the sporting arena, everyone has coaches, right? It's completely normal to have a whole team of people around you, coaching you on your mindset, coaching you on your actual physical attributes, coaching you on everything that you're doing, you're eating, and all of those things to get you your goals and your outcomes. But in life, we generally don't have coaches around other things. And finances is one of those areas where I think having a coach is really beneficial, because it's not so much about how perfect is the plan, it's about your behaviour. And are you going to be able to change your behaviour to actually match the plan and meet the goals and objectives that you're trying to achieve?
From meeting my financial advisor, I'm hoping that she will give me the tools and the knowledge to be able to make these decisions and think about money maybe differently, and just have that understanding of what money I need to start a business, and just being able to just have that guidance and that advice on what to do and how to set myself up so I am financially okay.
So thank you so much for sending in all your financials, because now I've had a chance to look through them and everything, and I've got a pretty good picture of where you're at financially. You ready for us to maybe talk a little bit about your previous experiences with money and things like that? So what we want to go through is beliefs. So beliefs around money, things that you kind of firmly hold in your mind to be true about money. So is there anything that you kind of believe to be true about money?
You know, if you work hard and save hard, then you'll have money.
That's exactly an example of a belief. Anything else?
With Rowan passing away, you know, if we didn't have some insurances set up, I would have been really stuck.
Yeah.
I could just allow myself to grieve rather than be stressed out about money and how I'm going to pay the mortgage and all that.
Yeah. So your fears at the moment are more around what to kind of do next from where you're at now since Rowan has passed away, is that?
Yeah, so I guess my biggest fears is making the right decisions and being smart and setting myself up so I don't run out of money.
Well, it's a pretty big point in
Yeah.
your life, actually. She's been through such a terrible time, which no one can really understand other than the person that's going through it. However, she's very fortunate in that her husband did have life insurance and insurances in place that have meant that she's now in a position where she can have some level of freedom and not have to worry too much about finances.
Also, wasting money is a big one, because who wants to waste money?
Yeah, definitely. You know how sometimes you might be in a shop and you're like agonising, should I buy that top? It's $80, I'm not sure, and then you don't buy it, and then you go outside and you got an $80 parking ticket, and you're like, you kind of go, well, I would have much rather get the top than the parking ticket. And that's where we talk so much about cutting out waste, and you have to ask yourself, do I really value what I'm getting for the money that I'm spending? So many of us go through life just going, okay, what's the next step? And I'll take the next step, and what's everyone else doing? And they're never really stopping to ask themselves, what do I want? What's really important to me? And what does my life look like in my dreams? Like, what are the things I really want to achieve for myself? A financial advisor is the person that's going to actually have those conversations with you and then kind of force you to do it, I guess. They're going to build a plan and show you how and give you that courage and that belief that you can live the life that you really want to live, not just what you think you should be doing. I want to take you through our goals and values session. And so this session is actually a time for you to not think so much about money. So I want you to pretend that money's not an issue.
Yeah.
And what we're talking about today is what is it that you actually want? And it's got to be something tangible. It's not, I just want this amount of share portfolio or this amount of money or this amount of investment properties. It's more about what do you really want for your life. What we want to make sure most importantly is that the goals that we set for you are actually in line with your values.
Yeah.
Because that's what's going to keep you motivated toward them. So our job as the financial advisors is to find a way to make your money work toward the goals that we set.
Yeah.
We'll start by just writing down the things that are most important to you in life, taking money and all that stuff out of the picture. What does it come down to at the end of the day for
Or
you?
friends and family.
Yep.
So that would be one.
Jot that down.
Being creative.
So what does it mean to you to be creative?
Just being stimulated by interesting articles or blogs, just having that visual inspiration.
And do you execute that creativity at the moment?
Well, not really, since Rowan's passed away, so I think it's a value that's kind of missing. But I guess I'm trying to create that through work. By having my own business and starting an online homewares shop is try to have that creativity built into that.
Yep.
So my business is called Follow, and it's an online homewares store of curated design and homewares that I've hand-picked myself. The products being on-trend, quality, handmade, that combination of things that you really want to have, that are very now, also very practical. I guess I just want to have that so it can give me the opportunity to, have my flexibility and have my independence.
Yep.
I've always wanted to have my own business, and I do think it comes down to being flexible by saying, today I want to go to the gym at 10, but then I'll go into work and I'll do X amount of hours and work later, and just be able to kind of have more control over your day and basically over your life, because that's something I really, really need is flexibility in my day. I just don't like being tied down to a desk 9 to 5. It just doesn't work for my personality. Now I just kind of want to take it to the next level and kind of stop being so afraid of taking the big plunge to the next step.
It is a big step, but it's also, I think, the best things in life happen when you do take that step or take a little risk. So
I stop being scared and just get on with it.
So let's put that down. Should we say launch, follow?
Yes.
Yeah. When do you want to do it?
Well, I think by March next year.
Okay, that's great. March 2015. I think Lisa really does need to learn a lot more about business and what it actually means. It's very important for her to have flexibility, and she doesn't necessarily want to go into something where she's going to be working 20 hours a day. And, you know, the reality of starting a business is often that it is quite hard work in the beginning. So I think it'll be very good for her to get some well-rounded perspective on what that sort of startup phase looks like, and then make a plan for herself about how she's going to ensure that it's not fully 20 hours a day or something like that. Anything else?
Travel,
Mm-hmm.
is that one?
Mm-hmm.
To source the products for the website, I travel to different trade fairs. So I recently went to New York, and hopefully I want to go to Paris, which has been a long, long, long dream of mine to go to. So yeah, hopefully I'll go there and find some more beautiful products which I can bring back to Australia, and hopefully everyone will enjoy. Being balanced, having a balanced life.
Yeah. Does that mean like you want balance between like, you know, doing some exercise, eating well, but also
Going out and
having
socialising.
fun as well, and probably between work and different things like
Yeah.
that as well, that you've got a good balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Anything else kind of?
Well, just bought a new house.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when did that happen?
So last week.
Last week, right. So between
And-
when you sent me your financials
Yeah.
and coming in today, you've bought a house.
Yes. Which means I have to sell my place that I'm in now.
I'm not the first person who've done that to me.
Yeah, sorry.
That's fine. Okay, so you've bought a place and you're going to sell your current place where you
Yes.
are living and move into that one?
Yes.
Okay.
So I recently just purchased a new place. This place was Rowan and my place, so it's quite difficult being here. As much as I love it, as much as it's ours and it reminds me of him, I think it's also important to move on. And with so many of my friends now having kids, it's harder for us to obviously go to restaurants and things like that. So it's just great to finally have somewhere where everyone can come over with their kids and we can just have a barbecue and hang around there, and the kids can run around and no one has to worry about making noise or anything like that. You know, just a new project as well, and something, just a fresh start for my life.
So is there anything around the new home that...
Well, yeah, I'd like to renovate.
Okay, all right.
Slightly,
That's a
yeah.
goal. I want to show people that they can live the life exactly that they want to live. They can follow their dreams and they can make anything happen that they want to happen. And it makes a really big difference for people once they actually know how to do what they want to do. That's kind of you. How does that feel?
It feels really good, actually. Yeah, it feels like a good analysis of where I'm at and where I want to be.
Yeah.
I guess writing things down helps you realise that maybe your goals aren't too far away with, you know, some help.
Yeah. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Do you feel if you have achieved these things,
Yeah.
will you feel good?
Yeah.
Is it a bit of a push?
Yeah, I feel like the business is going to be a big push to launch it by March 2015, but I want to do that, and I think it'll be a good focus for me.
Yep.
Be really beneficial.
What I want to do before we go away, and obviously when we go away, we're going to go and work hard in the background to build your financial plan, but I want you to do something for me. Given that launching Follow is your biggest goal,
Yep.
I want you to start thinking about all of the different things that you need to do to launch, like a one page of it, which kind of had the things that you mainly want to have done that would mean I'm ready to launch. So it will probably be things like branding, website, supplier contacts, you know, all of those things that really need to be in place for you to actually launch. All right.
Great.
Awesome. It's a good
Perfect.
challenge. Well, thank you so much for sharing all that with
Thank
me.
you so
I know
much.
it's a lot to get
No,
through.
it's great.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
It is
Thank you.
exciting. That's okay. Thank you so much.
She was very, very helpful, and I feel like putting my plans and goals down on paper is going to help me actually get there. So yeah, I'm very excited.
She has a lot of things that she wants to do, mainly around her business that she wants to launch called Follow. And I think I could really see a passion and a motivation in her to get that going. So that's something for me that I'm excited to see. Her challenge that we've set for her is to start working on that. And I think that's just really exciting to see how she's going to go with that. And it'll give her something to sink her teeth into, which I think is, you know, part of the process, and it'll be really good for her.
Today, Lisa will be meeting with Tracy, National Manager, BT Life Insurance Operations. Tracy specialises in claims and operations.
If you're looking at your financial future, There are so many aspects that you need to consider. It's your saving strategy, it's your retirement strategy, it's your investment strategy, it's your life insurance strategy. And they're just a number of things that need to be considered if you're looking at preparing for the best financial future possible. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Nice to meet you. I'm Tracy.
I'm Lisa.
Well, thank you so much for coming in today. I understand you're starting up a new business.
Yes, I am.
So still some time to do some planning.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
Yes.
So what we're going to do today, we're going to go through some common business problems
Okay.
that you might be faced with in the startup of your business.
Okay.
And let's get you thinking about what you need to do to mitigate those risks
Okay.
and plan for the success of your business. How does that sound?
Sounds great. Thank
All
you.
right, come with me. The first 6 months of starting a business are absolutely critical to the ongoing success. If you can't foresee any of the issues that may or may not occur, you're not going to be prepared to have the best business that you can.
Lisa will need to consider some strategies she may need to put in place to ensure the long-term success of her business. First up is Bark, an online pet store, who received a large order of dog collars. The only problem is their supplier failed to deliver on time. What processes should Bark have put in place to avoid this?
We've got a whole lot of orders coming in
Yeah.
and no stock to deliver.
Okay. Yeah, I'd probably have other suppliers rather than just one dog collar company, and probably buy an inventory system that can alert you when you're low in stock and make sure all those systems are in place so this doesn't happen.
Going back to the one about having multiple suppliers, how important do you think that will be for your business?
Extremely. People do run short and you can't just rely on one supplier because things can go wrong for that supplier down the chain. And if you don't have the stock, well, then you can't make money.
I think Lisa really acknowledged from case study number 1 that getting the balance right in relation to supply to demand is critical. And she's also realised the value of not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Next, Pend, an online stationery store, recently suffered significant profit losses due to currency fluctuations and supplier costs. What measures could have been put in place to avoid this?
Okay.
Big question.
Yeah, I'd probably have to factor into my pricing these fluctuations and make sure my margins are good enough that it won't totally outbalance my profits if these things change.
Was that something that you had factored into your planning process?
Not so much strategies to actually, react quickly to these problems.
Yeah, and it's really, really important that you do think about what you can do to mitigate any risk for yourself and your customers. Case study number 2 was really, really interesting because it's such a hot topic at the moment and interest rates are going up and down unbelievably, and they're impacting everybody's businesses. I think it's something that Lisa has taken away, that it's not an area that she fully understands, and in order to do the right thing by her customers and herself, she needs to get the right advice around the pricing of her products.
Last, Trend, an online clothing store, ran a 24-hour sale. The servers couldn't handle the traffic, causing the site to crash. How could this have been prevented?
Okay. Right. Obviously the technology let them down. So they probably should have maybe tested their servers and made sure that they could handle the traffic. Plus they probably also should have had a backup plan so that if this did happen, they could have reacted a lot quicker than what they did.
You're going into online capability
Yeah.
with your business.
Yeah.
And, from experience being a consumer myself, and
Yeah.
you'd be the same,
Yeah.
you're only going to try and get into a website 1 or 2 times before you actually decide, you know what, too hard.
That's so true. Yes.
You could see from the initial reaction to case study number 3 that it threw a curveball at Lisa, and it really enabled her to recognise that she doesn't know everything about the IT process, about digital and online capability, and the need to seek expert advice in her business is critical to the success. 3 challenges completed. How do you feel after the challenge?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel like I learned a lot and thought about some things that maybe I wouldn't have thought about. if you have strategies set up, then you can avoid things going wrong, or you can cope or deal better if things did go wrong. Problems don't have to be problems. It's just being aware and having foresight to, to try and eliminate the possibilities of these things happening.
Lisa obviously knows the value of protection, the value of planning, and it's now important to put that into practice for her business. Hopefully today has given some insights around the need to identify risks that may happen in your life, whether it be life or in business.
Yeah.
I think you've got to expect some hurdles.
Yeah.
I think you also really hit it on the head when you talked about accessing the right people and the right information in order to make sure that your business starts up really, really smoothly. I know that in my business, the importance of planning can't be underestimated, and it's just a critical part of getting where you need to go.
I think Lisa is a bit of a unique case because of what has happened to her. Obviously, she's so young and she's experienced the loss of her husband. However, I think she is just like everyone else in that she has dreams, she has hopes. She wants to throw herself into this business. She's very passionate about it, and that's just very exciting for her. Going back to what we were talking about last session, I really want to just check in with you first that you still feel really good about the values that you set for yourself, and also that the goals that you set are still kind of what you want, because that's essentially what we're now going to be working forward with. And I know that some of the stuff around the property's kind of been already happening, which is good that it's kept moving forward. Then you had to sell your home, and that has happened, hasn't it?
sold that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good result, because how long did you have it on the market for?
2 days. So that was really good.
2 days?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so then you had some goals that are more going forward. So renovating the place in about 6 months. I've sort of put April.
Okay, yeah.
Is that still?
Yeah, I mean, it's not crucial, but it's something that I definitely would like to keep in the budget.
Obviously, we had your goal of just maintaining your current lifestyle.
Yeah.
Which I've calculated based on the budget that you put together. And then launching your business Follow.
Yeah.
Still on track for that?
Yeah.
Yep. Personal spending. So this is sort of your week-to-week spending.
Yeah.
And this is where you probably will be able to cut back a little bit. And we want to do is create like a monthly income stream. So it's almost like you're being paid on a regular day, and you just need to stick within that kind of budget, and then you know that you're not, ruining any of your other plans.
Okay.
And building that diversified investment portfolio that is going to see you for the future. And that's probably the biggest thing for you to digest, I think, because there's a lot there and there's some really big decisions that you need to make. The next thing we looked at is obviously income replacement, which was where Follow Your Business comes into play.
Okay.
The goal needs to be is for that to be giving you an income so that you don't have to draw off your assets.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And also some wealth protection. So we want to make sure that you're protected. We want to make sure that there's no gaps if the worst was to happen. I think there's a little shortfall at the moment, so we'll just kind of look at some insurance that would top that up. Now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty, so I want to make sure you ask a lot of questions, all right? Going through a financial advice plan like that is very overwhelming for someone. And I think for her, really, it's just a lot to take in and a lot she needs to think about. It is going to be tough to maintain your level of capital if you keep spending at that same rate.
Yeah. Okay.
Firstly, you'll have just over, probably around 12 years, and all your money would be completely gone.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
It's been fun 12 years.
Yeah. It'll be fun, but you might be feeling pretty sad in 2027. Most importantly, though, whatever we do decide your personal spending is, you have to stick to it.
Okay.
So, and sticking to your budget for like travel and renovation and for the business.
There was a few big light bulb moments, like how much money I spend and how it might look like you've got money, but how quickly it can just, if you don't invest it right, that you can just lose it and waste it over the years.
I also think it'd be a good idea is to create a business budget. Have a think about, how long you think it'll be before the business starts generating income, what some of the expenses will be, and create a bit of a plan. Lisa has actually taken huge steps in terms of her business Follow. I hadn't expected her to do so much, which is great. I think that she's got a lot still to do, but she seems to have a really good handle on what she needs to do over the next few months. Realistically, the first year or two of business is going to be about investing in the organisation to build it and grow it. I think hopefully by the end of the third year at least, you're ready to start pulling a decent income out of it. How does that sound to you?
Yeah, that's fine. I think it's realistic.
Yeah. And it might be a case of, Year 2, you can start taking a small amount out, and Year 3, you can take more.
Okay, launching Follow in 2015 seems really, really important that I do set myself up financially and that I do have that income coming in so that I can make sure my future's even more secure.
I think it's just important to set yourself up for the future now and make the silver lining, if you can say that, but, you know, make something out of the legacy. I hope today Lisa really saw the possibilities for her future. I think that she does have some decisions to make in terms of how much she can go on spending and what's a good level to kind of get that down to.
I'm feeling quite overwhelmed, but I also feel like she's kind of maybe saved me in a lot of ways for myself. So I hope I can get control of my spending and just have like a clear structure on what I need to do with my money.
She's got to make some really big decisions, you know, bigger than what the average person our age would have to make.
Even though I'm young, it's probably even more important that you don't waste money now because that can make a huge difference in the long run. And I guess I didn't realise that. There's been another hurdle with Dad's quite ill. Unfortunately, he's got terminal cancer. You know, my priorities have been more with him and spending time with him. So Follow has to take a step back for a little bit.
She had this great lofty goal, and I was worried if she really knew what it was going to take.
Our life is one big whole. When a few things are out of kilter, it can feel like everything is out of balance.
I got dealt this hand in life. Somehow you just do have to keep on going.
For more great content and expert advice to help make the most of your big life moments, go to yourbestinterests.com.au.